Good afternoon, friends. Today we are going to discuss about introduction to artificial intelligence. Yes, before starting with this chapter, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Santanu Koley. I am working as a professor in Haldia Institute of Technology. And about today's class. Now, today we are going to discuss about few topics. You can see what is artificial intelligence, a brief history. Now, there are intelligent agents and the state of art. These things we are going to discuss. Now, what is artificial intelligence? As the name suggests, the science and engineering making intelligent machines. Yes, intelligent machines. Here we know there are lots of machines in our periphery, but there are some machines, they are intelligent enough to get something. Just for an example, the robots. Robots are the machines, or these robots, how they are in use. They are used in some factories as automated machines to fit some particular motor vehicles, etc. Motor vehicles like scooter, then cars, buses. These are made in the factories using some robots. Obviously, there are other applications too. Now, what is intelligence? What actually intelligence is? Intelligence is the computational part of the ability to achieve goals in the world. Okay. Now, it can vary in different sectors. It can vary on different ages. It can vary with different. It can vary person to person also. Now, isn't there a solid definition of intelligence that doesn't depend on relating to the human intelligence? Not yet. Exactly. The problem is that we can't yet characterize the general kinds of computational procedures. We want to call it as intelligent. We understand some of the machines of intelligence and not others. So what is AI? Basically, there are four categories of AI. First is thinking humanly, like as we are thinking rationally, acting humanly, and acting rationally. Now, these are basically bookish topics, but what do you mean by human-like? Human-like, how to simulate human intellect and behavior by a machine. That means mathematical problems like puzzles, games, or theorems. There are common sense reasoning. If there is a parking space, probably it is illegal to park. Now, expert knowledge like lawyers, medicine, diagnosis, and social behavior. These are basically human-like intelligence. Now, what is rational-like? Like to achieve some goals, have performance measures, etc. Now, what is the thought process? The thought process is the exciting new effort to make computers think. That means the computer can think. Yes, they can. But how? Obviously, there is a procedure. Particular procedure is there. Otherwise, computers does not have the brains like us. So that's why we can't say computers can actually think. They actually imitate. And they actually do whatever you want to do by them. Now, the behavior, the study of how to make computers do things which at what moment. Now, these are some things they can describe artificial intelligence. Now, the Turing test for getting a machine into artificially intelligent, what they requires. What is the requirement? The requirement is first natural language, then knowledge representation, then automated reasoning, machine learning, and vision robotics for full test. Now here I'll stop for a while and I'll describe about the few things that natural language. Obviously, what we are speaking now, we are speaking in English language. Obviously, there are other languages too. These languages, if the computer can understand, how? Obviously, if you train a computer, then only it can understand. Like whenever today in Google we say something, it is written over your screen, and it is, if I want to search something using Google, we can do it. There are several websites, they can provide such kind of services. Now, knowledge representation. Now, I have knowledge, how to represent? If I have knowledge, I have to explore. Now, if a machine have some knowledge, it must have to explore. Now, there are some procedures. Next is automated reasoning. Automated reasoning, obviously, whenever you make a computer to think, obviously think means again and again you are repeating same or similar type of things. Next is machine learning. By using such procedures, a machine can learn. Basically, a machine is imitating the human beings. Now, vision robotics. Vision and robotics, obviously, whenever this is a part of image processing, and obviously robotics, it's a huge part, huge intelligence is required to make the robots. Now, whenever we go for this Turing test, then requirement, there are some few requirements we have already discussed. Then thinking humanly, thinking rationally we have already discussed these things. But thinking rationally means there are some logic and there are some problems. If there are some logic, according to logic there are some problems. Now, how to represent and reason in a particular domain, it must be known to a machine. And acting rationally, there are some agents. We'll discuss after some time about agents. Now, this is the history of AI. Now, there is nothing more to say about the history. You can see neural network, how neural network was learned, then built a neural net computer, then these things, logic theorists, they have done something. In this era, 52 to 69, GPS, geometrical theorem, Samuel checkers, McCarthy resolution, microworlds. There are few things they have already introduced. And in 1956, Dartmouth workshop, in 1956 it is being done. Now we are celebrating basically 50th anniversary. Obviously 50th anniversary is already past. Here we are going towards 75th. Now there are some history we can see. Now again there are some brief history. Now what we actually want to tell you to the students, that what actually this artificial intelligence could do. That means what we can, what it can do, what it already did, we will discuss. First, the supercomputer that defeats Garry Kasparov in 1997. So you all know the fact. And there is some proved mathematical conjuncture. No hands across America in Pittsburgh. Now during 1991 Gulf War, in Gulf War, US Army, they have some logistic applications they have done. Now NASA onboard automation, autonomous planning program that is controlled by AI. Now there is a proverb solves crossword puzzles better than human beings, and there is a DARPA Grand Challenge, that is Robocop, it was done. That means there are a lot of things it is going on in AI, where AI is the best thing for the computers which can take some decisions. Now, how an intelligent system is built. Whenever we are building an intelligent system, there are certain things are there. What are they? First, there are computer science, obviously there are psychology, there are neuron science, there are biology, there are maths, there are sociology. That means artificial intelligence is not only usable by the computer science, but also there are few subjects as we are talking about. Now, whenever we go for programming with AI and whenever we go without AI, what are the differences? See, whenever first students, I must tell you what is AI actually and what is normal computing system. In a normal computing system, we give input and we get output. Now, in case of AI, it is different. Output is already known to you. Output is there, it is, and input is there, and we are getting again the output. Now we'll say, sir, what are you saying? How a particular computer can get the output? We know that computer is taking input and getting the output. This is the normal procedure. Yes, but in AI, we already know the output. Like our thumb scanners, or this is thumb scanner. If I have my thumb scanner with my mobile phone, my mobile should always know what is my fingerprint. So for that, I have to press my finger just like this one. That means in a 90-degree angle. Now another angle. This is another angle. Another angle. So several types of thumb impressions are taken by the computer. Now the computer can make decision whenever in any posture I'll put my finger onto the my finger scanner. So if finger scanner can take the data and it can produce the data, it can check the data with the database, it can match. Whenever it can match, that means obviously the output is previously given. What is the output? Output is my fingerprint in different ways. So all the data is collected first and then it is checked with my finger. If somebody else come to put that as an input, it will not take it as granted. As you have already seen, there are lots of banking websites and web applications, apps. They are already using such kind of things. So programming without AI and programming with AI, what are the differences? A computer program without AI can answer the specific questions that is meant to solve, obviously. And for AI, there are some generic questions, obviously. Now, modifications in the program leads to change in the structure. But AI programs can absorb few modifications by putting highly independent pieces of information together. Now, modifications is not quick and easy for programming without AI, but quick and easy program modification is there for programming with AI. Sorry. So, what is AI technique? Now, in real world, the knowledge has some unwelcome properties. Like, obviously, whenever we get the knowledge in terms of volume, it's huge. And it is well organized and well formatted. Otherwise, no computer can access the data. It is not like human beings that we can get several types of data and we can segregate different types of data in different ways. But here it is a computer. Obviously, if the volume is huge, no problem, but it should be well organized and well formatted. And it keeps changing constantly. Obviously, whenever any particular data is updated, the performance of the AI system could be better. Now, AI technique is a manner to organize and use the knowledge efficiently in such as it is perceivable, easily modifiable, and useful in different situations. And there are different complex structures, complex applications, they can be solved using AI techniques. Now there are applications. there are real life applications. We can see that there are gaming. The students, they can play chess, they can play different types of games like PUBG. Yes, it's a very important game for students today. Now, such kind of games are the applications of AI. Natural language processing. Obviously here we can see in Google, if we want to say something, it is being typed, and if we want to search using that voice message, yes, it is available today, we can do it. So that is natural language processing and expert systems. There are lots of softwares, lots of machines, lots of databases are obviously get into it. Now, vision systems, like whenever you go through some state or highways, like highways, national highways in India, today you can see there are some speed limit, and there are some speed measures also. Whenever you break that speed limit, obviously some message will come to your mobile phone that you have crossed your limit. That means how they can check, how they can manage, how they can understand such kind of things. Obviously vision systems, they are very important today to get such kind of things. Speech recognition, yes, it is again important thing that it is a speech of this person or that person. That the recognition of speech, it is important. It is used as a password in several kind of systems. Next is handwriting recognition. As we know, in bank checks, there are handwriting recognition is the major part where your sign will be matched with your previous signs. And if I want to go automated banking system, such kind of system can also be possible here. And intelligent robots, as we have already discussed about robots, that there are some factory products, there are some factories, they already robotized or mechanized their systems, they have computerized their systems with 100% accuracy. Now, till now we have discussed about artificial intelligence. Now we are going to discuss about agents. Now, in case of agents, what actually agent is? Agent means whenever you are cooking, there are some spices. Spices are very much needed to make the food tasty. So such kind of things, you can see the agents, they have several types, they have different environments on which they work on. There are some performance measure with environment, there are some actuator sensors like that. So we are going to discuss them. An agent, that is anything that can be viewed as perceiving its environment through sensors and acting upon the environment through actuators. Now what is sensor? Like we, the human beings, we have the sensors like ears, eyes, nose, mouth. These are our sensors by which from here we can get the input from outside world. Obviously you can see whatever is there by our eyes. Obviously nose is there, mouth is there, other body parts are there to get the data from the environment, and we act accordingly. So human agents are there and robotic agents are there. Human agents, as we have seen, there are nose, eyes, such and such things. Obviously for robotic agents there are cameras and there are infrared sensors, there are temperature sensors, there are lots of things to get the input from the outside world. Now agent as an environment, we can see the diagram here. The environment is there, the actuators are the legs and hands, and there are sensors. Obviously we have discussed about sensors like there are temperature sensor, there are cameras, etc. And there are some actions. The actions are done through actuators, and the environment, it perceives the data. That means the data is taken from the environment and it goes through the sensors to the agent. Now this is the basic formula. F is the function and P to A, and here agent is equal to architecture plus program. That means the architecture of any particular system, like computer systems, there are certain architecture is there, and obviously there is a computer program. That means your operating system is there. By using that system and by using the system software as well as application software, we can do something. So that is actually the job of the agent. Now there are different types of agents are there. There are rational agents. That means there are some performance measure is there through those agents. This is the objective, and it will make the success of that type of agents. Now an agent should strive do the right thing. Here the phrase do the right thing is important. Then there is rational agents. There are different built-in options are there for different algorithms. There are certain algorithms they are developed for different types of things, different types of applications. And there are intelligent agents are there, which are very useful whenever they have ability to interact with the real world, the knowledge representation, reasoning and planning, the learning and adaptation. Now here we'll discuss these things. As a particular system, any computer system, it should be learned. That means the knowledge should be there in its knowledge base. How? Like human beings, from different conditions, from our childhood, from different conditions, there are different environmental types. We can understand if there are clouds, there may be the possibility of rain. Now this we have learned. Now how a particular machine would learn? There is data. Such kind of data should constantly to be taken as input to the computer, and if such kind of data is taken as input, what will be the output? That also would be done through programming. Now that is actual thing. That is the actual job of intelligent agents. Now implementing the agents. Obviously, we have already discussed about how agents are made. There are some architecture and there are some programming. Obviously, programming is needed for what type of which condition, how it will react. And obviously, the architecture of anything. It may be the hardware architecture, it may be software architecture. All the architectures are already inbuilt in a particular system so that it can react. There are different agents you can see: medical diagnosis, satellite image, part picking robot, interactive English tutor, cooking agent, taxi driver. Such kind of agents today all are available in different platforms in the internet. You can see such kind of things are available automatically. Now agent types, there are simple reflex agents, goal based and utility based agents. There are different types of agents are required for different applications. Like simple reflex agents, whenever some application, some input is there, some input is taken into a system, it will act accordingly, it will produce some particular output. Not all outputs, there are some particular outputs as the programming is there. So there may be reflex agents with state. That means whenever there is a software process is going on, there are initial state, there are in between state, there are final state, and there are completed state. So different states are there. According to states, they are managed everything. Next is goal based agents. Goal based agent means there are certain goals are there. That means we have to achieve some degrees, up to some degrees. If we achieve, then it is successful, otherwise not. And finally, there is utility based agents. Utility based agent means there are different utility softwares available to make us convenient with a particular application. So again, there are few things, few examples are given, as in case of simple reflex agent, in case of if car in front is braking, then initiate braking. Next is if car in front is braking and on, there are some condition, then initiating braking. That means here in the first case we are there is a simple if then statement. Next, there is if then statement is there, but there is something else, something extra. Next is goal based agent. If this is done, then do something. That means that is my goal. What is the goal? Here you can see, if car in front is braking and needs to get to hospital, then go to adjacent lane and plane. That means this is my goal. And utility based, if car in front is braking and on, there is some condition, and needs to get to hospital alive, then search a way to get to the hospital that will make you passengers happy. That means there are same thing is discussed here with different conditions. So this is basically different types of agents which can act accordingly. So this is all about today. Thank you very much for joining.